Hi, I'm attorney Ben Schwartz, and today we're going to answer a viewer question from Josh in Seaford, Delaware. Josh sent me a message. He said, what about these so-called service animals, in quotes, service animals, in a business? A lot seem like they are not. I work in a grocery store. At one point, we were allowed to ask if it was indeed a service animal if we didn't clearly see a vest on it or any other type of identification. Now I'm told we are in fact not allowed to ask if one of these animals should bite me. Is the owner liable, the grocery store, the grocery chain, or both? It's an excellent question. You know, there's a lot of people that have service animals. You know, you might also refer to them as seeing eye dogs. There's a couple other terms, but essentially the law allows people with disabilities to have a service animal, and they are, you know, it's legal, at least in Delaware where I'm practicing law, it's legal to go into businesses, eating establishments, take a service animal with you, as long as it's legitimately a service animal. But the question is, if you're at work, you know, you're working in a supermarket in Delaware, and there's a service animal, and the service animal should happen to bite you, who's responsible? The direct answer is both. The employer is responsible, not because the employer did anything wrong, but because you're on the job. You, as an employee, have workers' compensation benefits available to you. And you don't have to prove that anybody was at fault to get workers' compensation. You have to prove that you were injured within the course and scope of your employment, and then you get workers' comp benefits. Workers' comp benefits are going to pay medical bills. They're going to pay partial part of your lost wages, not all of your lost wages, but some of your lost wages. They're going to pay, you know, an award if you say you get bitten by a dog and you've got a scar. That's called disfigurement in a workers' comp claim. You're going to get compensated for your disfigurement. If you have a permanent injury or a permanent loss of function to a body part in a workers' comp claim, you would get compensated for that as well. And there's other things that you can receive in a workers' comp claim. So if the dog bites you while you're working, your employer's workers' comp is going to cover a workers' comp claim. In addition to that, under Delaware law, the owner of the dog is strictly liable for any injuries caused by the dog. So you could bring a claim against the owner of the dog too, and assuming they have insurance to cover this, homeowners insurance, etc., you're going to make a claim for your pain and suffering, for, again, permanent functional impairment to a body part, disfigurement caused from the scarring or what have you, you know, lost wages. There's a whole list of things that you're entitled to in that claim or in that lawsuit against the owner of the dog. So if you have this situation, you should definitely get an attorney. If you're in Delaware, I'm happy to talk about this situation with you. Or in Maryland, I'm happy to talk about this situation with you. Outside of Delaware, Maryland, you know, in my firm we have attorneys practicing in Pennsylvania and New Jersey as well. But outside of that area, if you're watching this in, say, Oregon, or you're watching this in New York, you should get an attorney in the jurisdiction where the incident occurred. Get a personal injury attorney who handles both workers' comp and liability claims, and then let that attorney advise you as to what your legal rights, limitations, and time limits are. I hope that answered the question. If you have questions for me, leave a comment or send us an email. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com. Thanks for watching.